This is David Farland with Super Writers Tuesday. Our first question today comes from Korythebor on YouTube. And Corey asks, where is the best place to find good, genuine, qualified agents, literary agents? And that's a really tough question, because in the past, when you were trying to find a literary agent, you were forced to go kind of dig around. You might check their web pages, you might look for ads in the backs of book magazines like Writer's Digest or something like that. And that wasn't really a great way to do it, because anybody that wants to be an agent can advertise to be an agent, and they don't have to necessarily be qualified. They don't have to have any kind of certifications or anything, and they don't necessarily have to be very good. And the ones who are advertising typically are the ones that are either the startups or the ones that are not really top shelf. So you want to find somebody who is a great agent, and the easiest way to do that is to go to www.publishersmarketplace.com. And it's really simple. You go there, and when you get there, you buy a membership. This is like a magazine, okay? And it's a daily magazine with publishing news. But once you get in, you want to go to what's called the Top Dealmaker section, and you have to have a membership to do that. It costs you about $25 to buy a membership for the month. And once you get in, then you can start searching for literary agents. You can click on Top Deal Makers, and it'll say, do you want publishers? Do you want editors? Or do you want agents? And you think that you want to go first to agents, but the problem with that is that you probably want to educate yourself on who your top publishers are too. You want to find out who is selling well in your genre, and how much money they're paying out, and who the editors are that are buying things. And so you need to get a general acquaintanceship with it. So you want to search on the publishers first, find out who the major players are in your genre. It will rank the people that are buying the most books and paying the most money for them, and will rank who the top publishers in your genre are. But it'll go even deeper than that, because if you have a publisher that has just started up, you can go down to the lower part of the list and find publishers that are maybe buying right now that aren't well established yet. They're just maybe opening a new imprint into the genre that you're looking for. So you want to go do that. And then the next thing that you do is you look and see who the editors are. There will be a listing for each sale in there, and it'll give you a little log line for the book, telling what the book is about, who the author is, who the agent was of record who bought the book, how much they paid for it, using a little code, and you'll be able to find out that information. This tells you who the editors are who are really buying the books at these major publishers. Sometimes you'll have a new editor who is a kind of a hot new editor looking to build a list, and so they're looking for authors, whereas the editors that have the big names, the ones that you already know, those people may have already got such a big list that they aren't really looking for new authors very hard. So very often you want to find out who the real editors are who are buying the books. Last of all, you're going to look at the agents, and it'll tell you who the agents are, and you'll start noticing that when you look at the top publishers and you look at the top agents, that it's the same agents, the same maybe dozen agents who are handling those top publishers. This is tremendously important, because there's a lot of people who are wannabe agents. Okay, they may be good, sincere people, but they don't have a lot of literary connections, and so it's difficult for them to sell books. And so you may not want that person. There are people who claim to be agents who try to make money by defrauding authors, and so you don't want to find one of those. There may be agents that can't negotiate well. And so when it comes to the point of actually getting you a contract, they they end up having to settle for lower amounts. And so when you see an agent that's consistently selling books for maybe $50,000 that could go for $200,000, then you have to start wondering, okay, how sharp is this agent? So there's a lot of things to look for. There are people who get blacklisted from publishers. If you want to get a top publisher and you want to find out who an agent is who is servicing that publisher, then you need to find out, you need to go and look at Up This Way, because you're basically back engineering your chances for success. The point here is you want to find the best qualified people. Once you do that, you can go ahead and you'll find a list of agents that you like, okay? People who handle the kind of work that you do, who are genuinely selling, and you can make a list of those people, and then you start doing your research on them. You find out who else they handle. Do they like work similar to what you've just written? Or are they interested in handling other kinds of things? There are people who are literary agents, for example, in young adult, who don't handle fantasy and science fiction. And if you're interested in doing a fantasy and science fiction piece, they might not like it. So you look at the agent and you say, okay, do we look like we'd be a good fit? Once you do that, then it becomes a matter of writing a really great novel proposal and a query letter and sending those into that particular agent and selling them on you. So I hope that that's of help. There's a lot that goes to this. You're going to probably have to go do some research on how to write those query letters and whatnot, but this is a good place to start. For more information on how to write your query letter, you might want to check out my article on publishing in 2021. I go into it in a bit more depth in there. And thank you for coming. This is Super Writer Tuesday. We'll see you next week.